you really get an overview in this book that I think is very lightly there in the writing, but it does, when I'm thinking about this book, I'm thinking it's dark, and I mean it's horrible weather conditions, and we're in I love that dilapidated seaside town. I think I grew up near Weston-super-Mare, which is the other side of the country, I guess, from this, but that's a town where you go back to, and increasingly, even when I was there as a kid, it was not the greatest place in the world. No offense, Weston-super-Mare, but now it is a very former place where people would have gone, and that's exactly this sort of thing, isn't it? It's all around the UK. These areas where in the 50s and 60s, you'd have had cine films of people.
Absolutely,
the beach full of people, and
now it's gone. And especially in the wintertime, it seems even more gone. But there's certainly places that are haunted by their own past, I think.
Sure.
If there's a haunting in this novel, I think it's partly that, and the decay of these once grand buildings. I think speaks to that kind of sense of it sort of falling apart, and all that fun, especially in the wintertime, is kind of dissipated. And so I think there is something quite unsettling about seaside towns in general. There is, and then especially in the wintertime.
There is, and then so the story is. I don't want to go too deeply into the story. I know with books, novels, it's very important to leave the surprises, but this is about a guy who's been invited to this hotel by a friend, and then loads of other people start turning up, which makes it a lot more weird and scary than it would be. I don't know. I mean, in turning up on your own to a sort of a horrible, once grand hotel, slightly down his luck with slightly worrying people running it. I think it's fair to say.
The Paleys.
Yeah.
I mean, even the name.
I think if you're there on your own, it might be worse than other people turning up. Yeah,
Possibly.
Paley. There was in Cheddar. There was a lot of Pavies. So I think, and they were quite scary. So in different ways. So I think maybe that association probably kind of went together in my head. What was the impetus to write about a sort of deserted seaside town? Was there some moment you thought this is it?
I'd written a short story actually set in Blackpool a few years ago. Quite a horrible story, and I knew that it was a place that I wanted to, or a type of place that I wanted to revisit at some point. And I live not that far from Blackpool. I live in Preston, so we're only sort of 20 minutes down the motorway from there. So it's a place that I know well. I've been to lots of times in different ages, different seasons. It's just such a fascinating place, I think. If you compare how it is in the summer, it's full of tourists. It's still like, a million people still come to Blackpool, so it must have some attraction. One of the success stories. People still go there, but in the wintertime, it's a very lonely, deserted sort of place. And I've been very sort of interested, I think, in exploring why that's the case. Why is it eerie when nothing's open? It's a fun, like a lot of seaside towns, as you say, are like that. There's this dilapidation, this sort of veneer of dazzle and glitter and fun, but behind it, a few streets behind it, there's quite a lot of deprivation and quite a poor place. So those contrasts, those juxtapositions, I think is something that really interested me as a writer to explore. I think that it's that idea of it being haunted as well by its own past. These things that are still there in residues of it, but they're mostly gone. So Saltwash is an amalgam, really, of a few different places like Blackpool and Morecambe and Fleetwood as well. I don't know when anyone's ever been to Fleetwood.
I know they play against York
they do.
In the National League, so I know that's all I know about them.
Yeah. And so there are these sort of vestiges of an entertainment industry in places like that, which are long gone now. So again, I think that's probably why the novel will be categorised as gothic, because it's haunted by those kinds of things.
Yeah. Was it called? I mean, obviously, it's Saltwash. It's all about washing away of sins and whatever. Do Did you call it Saltwash before Saltburn came out?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a bit gutted when Saltburn. Oh no. Okay.
Although people,
I mean, nothing
people
like
are
it,
by
sure.
accident, thinking it's something else. But yeah,
I think they're very different stories.
They are very different. They are very different stories. But yeah, it's because it's. But also, you wouldn't want to change that because it's the perfect name.
I think so.
The sea.
Yeah, and I think I had the title quite early on.
Yes,
I knew I wanted it to be called that, and the place was going to be called that. And it's another reason why I wanted to write about a seaside town. I think because we kind of go back to kind of Edwardian, Victorian times. They were often places where you went to be kind of cleansed.
Yes,
there were sort of prophylactic places, weren't they, where you sort of went to improve your health and take the waters and that sort of thing.
Yeah, don't do that in Weston-super-Mare.
Or Blackpool.
Weston-super-Mare, I mean, it's on an estuary.
Yes.
Did you know Weston?
I think I have been there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's been there.
Yeah.
And it's on an estuary, so once you waded out into the water, it was just mud, and that would often go out. The water would, I'm not even going to call it the sea, because it wasn't the sea. It would go out far enough that you would just, if you went there, you would just sink into the mud.
Yes.
And that was, that was people's family holiday. For so long, people would be flocking to go to these places.
Yeah.
And saying, this would be healthy. And you
really?
But, it's a lovely place to go. John Cleese was born there.